Ladies and gentlemen, it's TITO'CLOCK. So please welcome your host, James Deacon.
Everybody, greetings and salutations wherever you might be across the, I was going to say across the country, but you could be across the world, right? You could be anywhere on the interweb. That's how the interweb works. Hey everyone, it's Tito James here with the rest of the crew. X right there behind. We got Y, we got Z, we got the whole team. Different parts of the places. We got them in different cities, but we're all here together just for the next hour for TITO'CLOCK because, well, it's a habit. And you don't want to kill a good habit, especially one that's been going on since the beginning of this pandemic. And now we're towards hopefully the tail end of this thing. And hopefully we're already just about wrapping up as vaccines start wrapping up. We'll start getting a little bit more herd immunity there and then we'll go back to our normal lives. Here's hoping. Let's say hi, firstly, to the TITO'CLOCKers out there. Let's give a shout out to first, I got to check first Mayan. She's there. Mayan, right, we can start now. We got Augie Ballon. He's also always tuned in. Hey, Augie, what's up? Good to see you on here. Mayan's present. We've got Myla Dmitri, who's one of the very few TITO'CLOCKers that's visited the studios. You should come back. We changed things around. See, even this is new over here. Bar, where is it? Anyway, the bar used to be big. Anyway, we're changing things around all the time. It's a sort of a rotating, moving showroom, so we've always got things happening in here. And we'll soon, hopefully, when things start getting normal, welcoming back TITO'CLOCKers here into the studio and to get their prizes or to just meet them. We want to bring that program back because without you, it's nothing. So we want to sort of go back to where we were before the pandemic. Whew, that was a mouthful. So where are we now? We've got all the greetings out of the way. We've got the salutations and stuff. We're headed for a big show. I think a lot of you already know what we have for grabs for later. It's a comforter set, which we'll talk about a little later on because it's really nice. And two people are going to be walking away with that. It's like 5,600 pesos each. And I've been using it. It's really nice. I will vouch for them. Really nice raffle prize. So for that, now we need to just kick off with the latest in headlines. And for that, we're going to need Chris. Chris, what you got for us there?
Hello, Tita James. Good afternoon, my fellow inmates. It's another sumptuous Friday. This is Chris for this week's dose of TITO'CLOCK news. The Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases is now allowing up to 30% venue capacity for religious gatherings in NCR Plus under the heightened general community quarantine until the end of May, a cabinet member announced on Friday. NCR Plus includes Metro Manila, Bulacan, Cavite, Rizal, and Laguna. President Duterte earlier placed NCR Plus under GCQ until the end of May, but with heightened restrictions such as limited religious gatherings. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara, a member of the IATF, said the Metro Manila mayors expressed full support for the 30% indoor seating capacity in churches. Under the government rules for GCQ areas, religious gatherings are allowed to up to 30% of venue capacity with health protocols such as physical distancing. The easing of restrictions on religious gatherings comes as the country's cases of coronavirus continue to rise. The House Committee on Human Rights approved on Thursday a bill that would ban discrimination based on a wide range of factors, including sex, sexual orientation, gender identity and expression or SOGI, ethnicity, race, and religious belief. The bill will now be up for debates in the plenary before it is voted upon by all members of the House. If passed into law, the proposal will penalize discrimination with imprisonment of 6 months to 5 years and or a fine of 50,000 to 500,000 pesos, depending on the court. The bill is seen as a compromise between conservative legislators and proponents of the anti-discrimination bill that is based on SOGI alone, which has been languishing in the legislative mill for over a decade. Conservative lawmakers, particularly Deputy Speaker Bienvenido Abante Jr., successfully pushed for the removal of the term intersex from the definition of sex. Intersex is used to describe people born with sex characteristics that do not fit with typical male and female bodies. A truce between Israel and Hamas began today at the hour set by Egyptian mediators. US President Joe Biden pledged to salve the devastation of the worst fighting in years with humanitarian aid for Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. In the countdown to the 2 a.m. ceasefire, whose timing Hamas had confirmed but Israel did not, Palestinian rocket salvos continued and Israel carried out at least one airstrike. Cairo said it would send two delegations to monitor the ceasefire. The violence was triggered by Palestinians' anger at what they assailed as Israeli curbs on their rights in Jerusalem, including during police confrontations with protesters at Al Aqsa Mosque during the Ramadan fasting. Since the fighting began on May 10, health officials in Gaza said 232 Palestinians, including 65 children, had been killed and more than 1,900 wounded in aerial bombardments. Israel said it had killed at least 160 combatants. Hamas claimed a victory over a militarily and economically stronger foe. Netflix has released on Thursday, May 20, the first trailer for the upcoming original animated series Trece before its premiere on June 11. The 2-minute trailer, which was shared on YouTube today, shows a blood-stained train stopping at Guadalupe Station as creatures from Philippine folklore live and kill amongst humans. The trailer shows investigator Alexandra Trece as she gears up for battle to fight the evil supernatural beings within Metro Manila's criminal underworld. The anime series is based on the award-winning Filipino graphic novel of the same name by Budget Tan and Cajo Baldissimo. Netflix announced that Liza Soberano will voice Alexandra Trece in the Filipino language version, while Shay Mitchell will voice the English language version of the show. The adaptation of Trece was first announced in 2018 during a media event in Singapore. The series is directed by Jay Oliva and produced by Jakarta and Singapore-based Base Entertainment. Those were today's headlines. Now to call back Tita James as we take a look at the inbox.
All right, there, Chris, what you got? We have, I didn't know about that Netflix. That's kind of cool, huh? That's Philippine-based comic book series. Is that right?
Yes.
Anime?
Yes.
Is it like
Yes.
anime? That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice to see. Nice to see that kind of, and then it really stops in Guadalupe, and then like blood-sucking creatures come on board. That sounds like what, they're letting politicians. No, I'm just kidding. Move on.
Iba yun.
Change.
Change topic.
What you
Let's
got? What
look
you
at
got?
the inbox. All right. First, we got the Fast and the Furious. Where's the? There we go.
Yeah, this dude. I know what's happening here. Ay.
Fast si ate, furious si kuya.
Ay, nako. This breaks my heart, though. I hate seeing things like this. But yeah, be careful out there, folks. Look, that's broad daylight right there in front of everybody, in front of a camera. They really don't care, do they? So just be extra mindful all the time.
Buti na lang listo si ate. So, good job si ate.
No? Ang kapal. I mean, look at that.
I know. Yes.
I mean, that happened to me. I don't know if I shared the story before, but it happened to me while I was driving. This is many years ago. Like
while you were driving?
Yeah, while I was driving. It was probably it'll be 19 years ago in South Superhighway by the Magallanes area where the railroad track is. I'm headed towards Makati bound on the SLEX under the Skyway, and then there's going to be a train tracks on your right. I was driving heavy traffic around second gear, stuff like that. Had my window open because back then, 19 years ago, I used to smoke, and I was quite undisciplined because I was also on my phone at the same time while driving, which you shouldn't do. So I probably deserved this. I was driving along like that, window down because I was puffing away. Hand came in, took the phone right out of my ear while I was driving. I was like, wow. So yeah, you gotta be careful out there.
Nako, Tito James, sobrang pasaway mo pala noon.
I was like, drop call na naman, Glow, ano ba yan? And wala na phone. Jeez, it wasn't just pretty shocking. Go on.
Oh my goodness. All right, next we have the baby back rider. We see this a lot.
We see it too much. Way
You
too
see it
much.
too much, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not just one baby. Sometimes it'll be two
Yeah.
kids.
And yeah, it's really hard to watch because I also I see their side. I know where they're coming from. It's their only form of transport, and they just got to get around. And public transportation can be very difficult. But this is not the answer either.
Yeah,
It's kind of a lose situation either way. But I really, when it comes to vehicle safety, especially for a kid like that, you should never do that. But like I said, kind of sort of see where they're coming from, even though it's still wrong.
that's true. That's true. All right. Up
It's really
next, we have the how. How did
okay.
this happen?
How? Oh, how? All right. Oh my gosh.
Like, did
Good.
somebody do a revenge on someone?
Oh, this is
Is this
definitely a
some
cap.
sort of a revenge?
Um. hmm. Yeah. Look, I'm sure we can have a wonderful caption this competition, and we're gonna get some gold out of this one for sure. Hope nobody was hurt though, because that looks pretty serious. Yeah.
I know.
How? Right. Hmm.
I mean,
I,
sinadya ba yan? Or was it an accident? Feeling ko
I
sinadya.
don't know. I don't know. That's why I think we really it calls for a caption competition.
All right.
So I won't forget to
What's the
post that.
price though? What's the price though
Uh,
for the captain competition?
what's the prize? We'll figure out something. We'll figure out something after. We'll post it after. Unless you guys want to post something here, and then we'll just we'll raffle it off here. Yeah.
All right. You heard it from Tito James, everybody. There's
Just
a
give us
caption
yes.
competition.
But we'll probably still do a main post, so give everyone else a chance to put their captions there. So after the show, I'll post a static post, and you guys can what you call it go
Let's
over there. Yeah,
go.
with the kun kuns, people saying hi to kun kun and stuff. Everyone wants to win those blankets.
Ooh, I want to win those blankets. Kidding. All
Go
right.
go go.
Up next, we have the fuel safe. Very safe ito, Tito James.
Wow, Jan. Well, with the price of gas, I can't blame you there. That is, it's vandalism, though. My gosh, your vehicle already has a lock. My God, I don't
Baka
know if you
nasira
know.
yung lock.
Baka nasira, baka I didn't know, baka na ano, but my goodness. Okay, all right. Feeling
Ang cute
lucky, yeah.
ninyo eh. Ay,
Hmm.
nako. All
Okay.
right. Let's move forward to Rand Lover
Rand
or
Lover.
Rand Lover.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that would be funny.
I actually sent this to my friend because his name is Randy. And
Uh,
hi, Randy, if you're watching.
Rand Lover.
And our former boss used to call him Rand.
That's funny. That's cute. What else you got?
Okay.
You really you haven't like got me all stressed out this time, huh? We got some pretty
Yes. Bumabawi kami ngayon. Siyempre, we don't want you to be high blood always. We want you to be laughing naman. But actually, my friend just messaged me and she wants to see you kunot noo.
okay. You got
But
any
I
more
don't
or
think.
is that it?
Okay, we have one last. I think this is one of your posts. They
Okay.
had one job.
I don't know if everyone saw this online, but
I saw it
okay,
earlier.
it's funny. It's funny as hell, but just to be completely responsible, I did post underneath in the comment section that there's a chance, and I don't know if it really applies here, but there's a chance that these are in certain roads, especially like in certain European country towns. You turn
Mhm.
left because that's where you're going to turn right from. So, also you're going to
You
turn left, but
turn.
you have to turn right, and then you basically hook up. It's called a jug handle turn. It's called a jug handle turn. So there's actually, because you can see that they had one job, you can't see what's through the intersection. So it
Yeah.
might be just to give credit naman to whoever did this. There's a possibility that it's one of those jug head turns because you will have to turn left to turn right in certain places in Europe, just like in Australia where we have to be on the pinaka left lane to turn pinaka right lane to turn left because of the trams. Very confusing, super confusing. So, yeah, it might be that. I don't think they were that dumb. At least I
Yeah,
hope.
it is, especially for me because hindi naman ako
It is
nagda-drive. So,
confusing. It's very
very
confusing. Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah.
So there we have it, Tito James. That's all we got for the inbox. And I think we are being friendly with you today because it's your wedding anniversary.
Wow, we found the best time. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
look at
Oops,
that.
sorry.
Maybe
Ayan tuloy.
26 years. Can you believe that? 26.
Woohoo! Happy,
That is
happy
like,
anniversary, Tito
I
James.
was
And of
just
course, your lovely
retiring.
wife. You're gonna be one of the couple goals
I
of
was cradle snatched.
Grabe yung cradle snatch.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
thank you. Thank you, Tito James. Thank you, everybody. Let's all have an awesome week ahead. This is Chris reminding everyone to eat kamote, but don't be one. Stay grateful, stay safe, healthy, and hydrated. See you guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye, Chris. That was Chris with the latest in headlines. And as always, if you like the sound of Chris's voice like we do, you can always hook up with her by sliding into her DMs professionally, of course, we're talking about. And yeah, she does this kind of work as well. So if you need that or online, she does online parties and stuff. Really, really nice themed parties. She can be princess, she can be stuff like that. So we like to support each other and share those talents around. Now, moving on, we have, of course, now that we're all on the same page with the latest in headlines and what's happening around the country and the things that really matter, it's time to slip into one of everybody's favorite segments for TITO'CLOCK. It's a segment that started from the beginning of this pandemic. It's called Free Plug Friday, and it's basically just your chance to get the word out. If you have a small business, you have a product, you pivoted during the pandemic, we'll help you out by getting that word out for you absolutely free of charge. So for that, we need X. What you got in the box there, X?
Hi, Tito James. We actually have a lot in store once again. But before we go there, I just want to say hi to all TitoClockers. Welcome to another edition of Free Plug Friday. All right, feast your eyes on the screen. Let's start Free Plug Friday by cleaning and sanitizing with Nature to Nurture. Frida Mandela, Nature to Nurture PH has been established since 2014, and they offer locally made plant-based cleaning products for the home that are super safe even for children, Tito James. Actually, that's the inspiration behind the product. It's because they wanted to make sure that all cleaning products inside their home were kid-friendly. So they have products like multi-purpose and multi-surface cleaners, laundry powder, detergent, hand soaps, hand sanitizer sprays that all come in different scents. I actually love their lavender scented hand soap and sanitizer because, Tito James, it gives off like a relaxing feeling after. How about you, Tito James?
I honestly haven't tried it yet, but I love the idea because I don't think there's enough attention placed on this problem. In Australia, when I lived there 20 years ago, they were very vocal about this issue about keeping these types of detergents and cleaning products away from children because, kids walk around, they play with everything,
Exactly.
And we normally keep our detergents and stuff low down in the
Exactly.
bottom drawer. So having this and having peace of mind with detergents and cleaning products that are not toxic, safe for children, I like it. I love it.
Same here.
And I like the smells.
I like also how they bottle it. The containers are very nice. Anyway, guys, price starts at 85 pesos for the sanitizer sprays, 165 pesos for the hand soaps, 209 pesos for the multi-surface cleaners, and 265 for the laundry products. Again, Nature to Nurture on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Melodious. Melodious offers homemade chili garlic oil, mushroom chicharron, as well as other meat products that come in different flavors. So, like for example, the James mushroom chicharron comes in 5 different flavors, just the original, barbecue, chili garlic, and cheese. Which one do you like among these, Tito James?
Well, you can't go wrong with the chili garlic oil and the mushroom chicharron because it's chicharron but with no guilt
Exactly.
or less guilt. I mean,
Less
obviously
guilt.
it's got some,
Yeah.
So if you're watching your cholesterol and all the other things that you should when you're eating pork, try the shroom one.
I would agree, Tito James.
Mhm.
I actually like the original and the cheese because, of course, you can go wrong with the original flavor and cheese as well. Anyway, they also offer different meat products, like I said earlier, like longanisa and bologna. Price starts at 120 pesos for a 270-gram bottle of the chili garlic oil, 120 pesos each for their mushroom chicharron, and 100 pesos each for any of their meat products. Again, Malodias on Facebook. Next, we go to Betapod. Betapod is actually a backyard fish farm that specializes in breeding local, Indonesian, and Thailand imported fighting fish, aka betta fish, that can grow up to 6 inches. Tita James, just look at the color since they are very, very, very colorful and very pretty. Just look at that, Tita James.
Wow, those are real. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Geez, that's intricate. And wow, look at those. I was gonna say, look at those designs, but
they're actually
natural.
real fish.
Well, they're still designs. Just nature's design.
Kind of
right?
looks like a koi because some of them have the colors of a koi, like this
but
one.
it's quite amazing. I don't know much about the whole fighting fish scene and all
Same
that,
here.
but this just looking at it looks very pretty.
So for people who are interested, price is below 1,000 pesos for the female betta fish and 1,500 each for the male betta fish. Hope you can check them out. Betapod on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Blue Tranquility. Blue Tranquility is actually a mobile spa that's been operating since 2010 that provides clean, quality, and professional home service massage. I actually have tried this, Tito James. To be honest, like back in 2019, when before pandemic, and if I just wanted like a home service massage, since they cater to areas like Quezon City, Caloocan, San Juan, Sampaloc, Manila, Ortigas, Makati, Pasig, to name a few. And now, since it's a pandemic, they make sure that their therapists always follow health and safety protocols like getting their regular swab tests, wearing the proper PPE, and practicing regular sanitation. Tito James, the good news about this is the price starts at 350 pesos for an hour of massage.
Hey, that's good. That's good. Because I mean, you can get the random no-name ones in the villages for about 250 or 3, and that hasn't got any of these types of I mean, like these have the safety protocols and stuff. They've been around since 2010, and you've tried it, right?
Yes,
So
and I'm actually pretty happy with it.
I can't wait because it's finally they're allowing massages now in the building. Oh
yes,
man,
now they are.
Yes,
Since we already eased into a modified GC, or since we already eased into GC,
another queue. Just call it another queue.
Another queue.
A queue to a queue.
Anyway, guys, they're open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Again, Blue Tranquility on Facebook and Instagram. Last but not the least, we go to Kun Kun. Kun Kun, actually, James, is a Chinese word that means sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if you want to say I kun, it means like you're sleepy. Anyway, Kun Kun offers crafted bed essentials such as their personally designed dotted blankets and pillowcases that have 2 sides. If you notice, Tito James, one side is actually the flat one that's made out of 100% organic cotton, and the other side is made out of 100% polyester fiber. How did you find it, Tito James?
Well, now that you tell me that, I'm even more intrigued because I just like the texture of it. I love the feeling of the blanket. In fact, I replaced
Immediately. I saw what you did.
because I thought, all right, let's try this out. And it's really soft, really nice. I just didn't know about the reversible thing. I thought, okay.
Oh yeah.
So
the reverse is actually,
if you feel like just
cozying up.
okay, now
so
I'm gonna try it
either.
again and just gonna sort of see
Flip
what
it
it's
up.
like. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I actually saw Rocket. Like the moment that you
yeah.
landed the moment you landed the blanket on your bed, he immediately jumped in and tried to own it for himself. Selfish, but I think he really likes. He wants to try to sleep in it.
Oh man, Rocket.
Hi, Rocket. Anyway, guys, the dots or bubbles in the blanket are specifically intended to produce a relaxing effect on the skin that can aid with sleeping more soundly. Perfect for those who are craving for a good night's sleep, such as like people with insomnia, as well as newborns and kids as well. But there's good news, Tito James.
What?
Raffle time! All right, guys. They're not cheap, guys.
They're
It's
not cheap.
5,600 pesos for a set, and they're giving away 2
Two
sets. Sets for 2 lucky Tito
Wow,
Clockers.
you're gonna
who will
kun
be-
well tonight.
Kun. So, guys, all you need to do is just leave a comment and probably a reason why you want to have this blanket or the set, perhaps. And they also have different colors to choose from. But the ones that they sent are the blue and pink one. I hope you can check them out.
Boy, girl, boy. So hopefully we get one boy, one girl winner.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we get
hopefully.
the and yeah.
Either way, good luck, guys, and
Just put some Z's.
put some Z's. Okay, that's easier. Put some Z's. Hey, guys, for those who don't get to win, they also have different colors to offer, such as the blue, the one that you have, Tito James,
Great.
cream, gray,
Pink.
and the pink.
Yeah.
And each set comes with 2 pillowcases already. Again, Kun Kun on Facebook and Instagram. Well, that's all we have for this week's edition of Free Plug Friday. Stay safe and always sanitize, TITO'CLOCKers. This is X. Peace out. Happy weekend. Bye.
Rocketeer! Yahoo! Yep, it's Friday, everybody. Free Plug Friday. We got the latest from X, and of course, Rocket the Rocketeer. Okay, it's now time for another segment that we call Ask James. Or is it Ask Me Anything or Ask James?
Ask me anything.
Ask me anything. Ask me anything nice. So anyway, it's a new segment. Well, we've been doing this for a while, but this portion is brought to you by our friends from Motolite Pangmatagalan. And what we got there, X, give me something to work with here. We got a question? Who we got?
Yes.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I am waiting for the storm. What's this for? Carlo? Can you zoom out a bit so I can see his family name? Pinon? Did I get it right? Can you see it? Pinon. All right, Carlo Pinon. Hi, Sir James. I've been a long-time follower of your show. Super helpful and ang fun. Lagi ng mga topic. Hey, thanks, man. I've recently purchased a car and I'm looking to upgrade the performance of my car's battery. Any tips on ano dapat ang kunin ko? Thank you, sir. And sana makita ko kayo in person in the future. More power po. All right, Carlo. Well, it's I'm not. Does he mention the car?
No.
He hasn't mentioned the car. All right, so I'm gonna have to give you some pretty generic because I don't know what your car is, but you cannot go wrong with. I put recently the Motolite Gold right in the Trailblazer.
Yeah.
Motolite Gold, and that thing has so many accessories on it. Like the white one has got like four extra lights on it, like big lights. It's got winches. It's got so many things that eat up the power, and that battery's just been awesome. So I would go with the Motolite Gold or the Motolite XL24. Those are two of my choices that I think will just do it for any kind of cars. So you can't really go wrong because they are the best batteries right now in the market. They're tropicalized, and that's important because they're built for the Philippine climate. And sometimes you can just something as simple as that can wreak havoc. We have cars that are really great cars, but they're not tropicalized, and then they end up having a lot of problems. So having your products tropicalized for this market is very important. They're also designed tough, and they've got the German technology in them, the innovation, and of course, pangmatagalan. Everyone knows Motolite has the full 24-month warranty, and they still are the only ones that do that delivery, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that Express Hatid thing has been a lifesaver so many times. It's just such a convenient service. So you don't have to worry about that. And they're really good about these things, because if you go and they find that they'll check your battery. If your battery is like for any reason something went wrong with it before the 24 months, they just replace it. They don't even ask questions. They're so good about it. So there. Hope that answers your question. What else we got? That's it. One question for that segment.
One more.
Oh, we have two. Okay, what's the second one? Where we go?
There.
Hi, James. Have you reviewed the Jeep Compass? X did.
What?
You drove it, right? You drove it.
We did, yeah.
We did. X drove it more. That was the 1.4 liter one, right? Is that the 1.4?
So, yeah.
It was a little bit underpowered, right? I remember you.
Say yes.
Okay, well, yeah, we got to keep it real. So I remember your comment was it was a little bit underpowered, and so aside from that, I guess they're working with the smaller engine types of models, and but aside from that, it's still a Jeep. It's still a great icon for its segment. So it's something different, but just keep in mind that obviously, as awesome as they are, if you're going to go into that sort of segment, you have to consider also that perhaps the maintenance of it is going to be a little bit higher, and so you just have to consider that as well. But aside from that, it's a very good car. So just keep in mind, every car is built to different sort of pluses and minuses. It's not that people don't know how to build good cars. nowadays, because there's so many different consumers, cars are built for specific people. So when I say something like it's underpowered, that's not necessarily a criticism, because it's underpowered for my liking, but it may not be for yours, because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that that's how they chose to sort of make it in their features and benefits, and it was an area that they sort of worked on. So there you go. Still a good car, still an icon. I love the brand, and I would one day love to get a Jeep Rubicon. That would be a bucket list too. One of those, because they're just great vehicles to take off-road. All right, Master James, how long can I sit in the car running in its engine full aircon yet not moving? Well, if it's a car you're worried about, you can stay as long as you like, pretty much. They're all designed now to sit and idle for extended periods of time with no actual problem, right? Not like before. We used to get some overheating issues and stuff like that. Modern cars are okay, but what you have to consider is the environment. You got to just make sure that you're not in an area where it's unventilated, or even if you're just sitting in traffic. Obviously, the most responsible thing is to not keep your engine running if you're not moving. Having said that, we are going through a heat wave, so we got to be realistic. So if it's for your car that you're worried about, it's not going to do any damage to your car, but it's everything else that you have to consider: environment, people, blah, blah, blah. All right? Hope that answers your question. You got any more for me, X?
Yes.
What you got? All right, Tito James, what's the brand of your e-bike? The brand of my e-bike. X. You remember the brand?
Cycle.
Sorry?
Cycle.
C-Y-K-E-L. C-Y. I remember the name. It's the spelling. C-Y-K-E-L. And what I like about this particular e-bike is, unlike many, I have another e-bike at home, another e-bike. It's a mountain bike. It's great. I love it. But the problem with that is you have to bring the whole bike in to charge it. And I keep the e-bike in the TITO'CLOCK studio, so it's a condo. So to bring up a bike just to charge it is a major drama and a major hassle, right? So this one, the battery removes. So you can just literally pull it out and then bring up just the battery and charge the battery. And that's why I like that one as well. Plus, it's got the commuter bags on it. And it is it's like one of those Dutch commuter bikes in its design. Cycle, C-Y-K-E-L. Awesome little bike to have around the urban areas and do for all of your urban commuting. You're not even going to feel it, because Metro Manila is a very flat area. So with the pedal assist, you're just not going to feel any of that strain. I've never encountered an area where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just, no, it's so easy to ride around. Range was about 60 plus kilometers, but that's conservative. I think if you ride it sort of the way I do and you put stuff on and stuff, I budget no more than 30 just to be safe. I just don't try to go over 30, because I tend to use it on full power as well. And then I just charge it overnight, and then we're back to square one. Okay, X, one more? Okay, we got one more. What was the first car you ever drove when you were younger? Okay, it's kind of a layered question, right? So the first car I drove when I was younger, technically, that I remember was a Volkswagen Combi. It was a 1970-something model. But the reason I say it's a layered question is because I wasn't allowed to drive it. I was 4 years old at the time. No joke. Okay, true story. I was 4 years old. We were in Australia on holiday, and my uncle and my grandparents lived in this house on the top of this hill. And right below the hill was Sydney Harbor. So the van was parked there, and it's really steep, right? It was called Hunter's Hill, and it was really steep. And I loved cars. I was obsessed with cars, even at 4. And somehow I got out of the house, and at 4, right? They just let me out of their eyesight and let me wander the streets. They were the 70s, right? It's a different time. Don't judge. Got into the Combi, made my way in, started playing driving, and then I somehow got the handbrake down, and that thing started to roll. And if it wasn't for a neighbor who was watering his garden across the street, ran across the thing, and pretty much like Superman type of rescue, jumped in front of the thing. And no, I jumped out. That's right. And I tried to jump in front of the thing. He grabbed me, saved me. And then the car, I think, hit the car in front. But I could have been in between the two. So that's the first time I drove a car, but it wasn't really the way it was supposed to be driven. So put all that aside. The first legal car I drove and the first legal situation was when I was 8 years old. I started driving my dad's Corona, 1978 Corona, the one with the two round lights in the front. And that's the car I learned to drive on. And he used to let me drive him to, we lived in Merville and we were right in the back of Merville. So it's about 2 kilometers to the gate. And he would let me drive him to the gate every day. And then we would swap places and he would take over to get to the school or office or whatever. And that's how I got my driving experience. From 8 years old, I was driving already alone, a manual car, and the rest is history. So long answer to your very short question. Hope that gets the job done. We good? We good there, X? In relation, okay, because we got a guest here on standby, and I don't want to keep him waiting any longer. So, Chris, one more question, and then we're on to you, okay? If you can hear me in the background. How about the VW T-Cross? Mayela, we are going to get that vehicle when? June 1. So I haven't driven it, but June 1, it's arriving, and I'm going to try it out. But I did do the press briefing of it. I think it looks gorgeous. I think it looks really, really nice. And I like the concept. The concept of it is a slightly sort of raised crossover. So it's got a little bit more ground clearance, flexibility than your sedan, but not quite the SUV. I think it's a perfect addition to the lineup of Volkswagen. So I'm dying to drive it in June 1. See, and I'll tell you what it's like. I'll give you honest feedback like we did with the Jeep Compass, even though X freaked out.
Oh.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? There has been so much drama surrounding cryptocurrency in the last few days. It's practically been dominating the headlines. You couldn't scroll without seeing any Bitcoin memes, without any crypto jokes around. And it's gotten even the casuals talking. And I like that. I think it's great for investment, the industry, when you got casuals talking about it. So I thought it would be a great idea to bring in a non-casual, somebody who actually knows what he's talking about, somebody who's got a lot of experience with it, and somebody who can help guide us tourists or casuals into this crazy roller coaster of investing. Would you please welcome up the Bitcoin buddy, my friend, Christopher Tan? Somebody bring Chris in, please. There you go, Chris. You're on mute.
Hair is long. You've got a great setup. I love this whole look. This is awesome. How long has this been?
Dude, green screen, Shopee, 500 pesos. It comes with even an assistant there that moves. Look at that. Dude,
No,
you'll never get a green screen.
That's a green screen? No way. Oh my God, that is amazing.
You know what's even more amazing? This green screen. Have you heard of augmented reality?
Yes.
Okay, watch this. Watch this. Stay there, Chris.
Oh, shut.
Man, I tell you, the technology, the reality and everything.
Okay.
Say hi to Peter Chris. Hi, Peter Chris.
Oh my God, look at that. What
Rocket
a
is our raffle dog, and Rocket will be drawing out our prize later on in the show. So everybody loves Rocket. Everybody makes it the Rocket because Rocket presses the magic button that brings out their name.
That is so awesome.
Thank you very much. The truth is yes, we've been here for, it's a long story, but yes, thank you. It was a lot of work to get into this place because we tried to do this in the pandemic and got one then after the other, but we're here. And this is TITO'CLOCK Studios, and we've been here for about a year. So we've settled in nicely. But what hasn't settled in is Chris. Dude, you've been talking about crypto and investing for as long as I've known you.
Yep.
A lot of my other friends, few other friends have been talking. I finally get the courage. Like I finally grow the manliness to put some money down 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Oh, shoot.
Chris.
What did you invest in? James, I need to know. What coins did you invest in? Tell me.
Okay. I'm a very simple guy, right? I did the Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm only in two, all right? I'm just learning, got hit with the crash, I'm not worried. I'm not worried because at least I came in with, I guess, the attitude that you tend to promote, which is play with the money you're willing to park,
Right.
manage your expectations. Are you a tortoise or a hare? I mean, do you want to? What's your strategy here?
Yeah.
I think once you get those basics done, so I'm okay. I have sort of, so the money is money that I'm willing to park. It's 39. Well, now it's 40 something, but
Right.
I wanted to bring you on the show because I wanted you to help explain it in human cryptocurrency and investment. Are you able to put that into human for us?
Absolutely. So let's start with the very basics. Bitcoin, though, that's the easiest one to figure out for everyone because cryptocurrency in itself is so confusing, right? Okay, so let's start with Bitcoin. James, I'll make it very simple for you. If I send you a photo right now through my phone, send it to you. Do I have a copy?
Yes, you do.
Right. If I sent you a video, would I have a copy?
Yeah, I guess so.
PDF document?
I would imagine so, yeah.
Okay. Think of one thing that I can send you that when I send it to you, I don't have a copy. Right. Nothing.
No,
Yep.
I guess the excuse that you give the wife when I said that we're digressing. We digress. Okay, yeah.
Right.
I can't think of another one. No.
Right. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is that one thing that when I send it to you, it is literally with you and not with me. It's not on my wallet, it's on your wallet. And that's what makes it valuable because it's the first time that they're able to create a digital file that can actually move from one place to the other. And it's verifiable on the blockchain on a public ledger that everyone can see. It's online and it cannot be hacked. It cannot be duplicated. It cannot be revised. It's immutable. And that's what makes it powerful. That's Bitcoin. And that's the tip of the cryptocurrency iceberg. That's where it all started. So the Bitcoin was created because there was a problem with the monetary system in the world right now. Remember 2008? I don't know if you remember this, the mortgage crisis.
Well, I've tried to
bad.
put it out of my memory, but yes, it's hard to forget. The
Right,
housing
a lot of-
crash, the Big Short.
Right, the Big Short. A lot of people lost their homes, and investment bankers made a lot of money. They made hundreds of millions in bonuses off taxpayers' money. This was the time that Bitcoin was created by a group called the cypherpunks, a group of hackers. They said, "Screw this. Enough with the government and with how banking is. Banking is flawed and it is greedy and it is taking the money from many and putting it into the hands of a few." And they decided to create Bitcoin for that reason. And that's where Bitcoin was created in 2009. Was that simple enough?
It's very simple, and I think everyone will get that explanation. I'm glad you kept it simple, Chris, because there's so much mystery. It's so cryptic, no pun intended,
Right.
around the cryptocurrency. I guess the question that I have, and a lot of people probably want to know, is we see it as the future for sure.
Yep.
I don't think anyone that will spend even one day researching blockchain and cryptocurrency will not agree. There's no way this is not going to take over as the future of currency. The question is when, because we have got regulators that will literally be displacing themselves, will literally be creating their own, being obsolete. They will sign the papers making them obsolete. Nobody likes doing that. I mean, dinosaurs don't order the meteor that comes and gets them, right? They'll do everything they can to keep that away. Is this going to happen in our lifetime where these big institutions, countries, IMF, ADB, we're not talking just your local banks, we're talking, will they let go? Or how much control do they still have?
So I want you to think of it this way. China has been trying to ban Bitcoin since its inception for the longest time. And until now, and remember, China, who's been able to create the great firewall of China, which can take out Facebook, Google, and everyone can't even get into China, can't even stop Bitcoin.
Well, they're the miners, aren't they? Aren't they the chief miners of crypto?
About right now, it's going down. It used to be about 70% in China, but now it's about 60%. But here's the thing. The beauty of cryptocurrency and the beauty of Bitcoin is that because it's completely decentralized, meaning it's not on one server. It's on over 1 million servers all over the world. And to be able to stop it, you have to shut down all 1 million servers. that is validating the Bitcoin network. How do you do that? So you can't stop this. And the beauty is there's no head office. There's no 1-800 number. There's no CEO that you call and say, hey, stop what you're doing. This is illegal. You can't put anyone to jail because there's nobody in charge. That's the beauty of Bitcoin. It's almost become like a natural resource online, a digital natural resource.
Two
Now,
questions.
okay, go.
Because I know we got to do bite sizes because remember we're casuals, we're tourists.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing about the million computers, excellent point for security, a very sore point for the environment because people are worried about the power consumption. Do you
right.
see that being fixed in the near? I mean, we're taking quantum leaps in computing.
Sure.
Right? So our chips are getting 8 times faster, 16 times faster, almost in every evolution.
Right.
So is this a solvable problem in the near future? That's what Elon's complaining about, right?
Okay.
That's my first question.
Okay. Before I'll answer that before you get to the next question. Okay.
Yes.
So first of all, Elon is wrong. He's a genius, but he's absolutely wrong because number one, 75% of all energy usage is actually renewable energy for cryptocurrency and for Bitcoin. So I want you to think about that. 75% is actually renewable energy, number one. Number two, the whole narrative of it consuming so much energy that it's as much as like Argentina or something.
Yeah.
Hey, the Christmas lights that Americans use on a yearly basis is more than Argentina's entire electrical consumption. Maybe we should shut that down first because that has zero utility. All right. Number 3 point, that the electricity that he's talking about is 75% is renewable, and these are excess electricity. They're not electricity that's being taken out from urban cities. They are in far-flung areas with all this excess electricity, and they're just using all of this. It's excess, and they're beside hydro plants, power plants, and that's where they station themselves, where it's away from urban centers and urban populations.
Chris, is the power consumption simply because of that mega computing power? That is it? In my mind, I see it as somebody puts, you send me $10, and 1 million computers verify that at the same time. So there's
right.
The computing power of that is that what causing the power drain or the power consumption?
Yes, because you're talking about millions of transactions happening on a regular basis. Yes.
And then, so aside from the fact that they're near hydro, they're near renewable energy sources, and all the other reasons you gave, that they're away from the big urban centers, this is something that is solvable in the foreseeable future by computing power, by increasing computing power. Is it as simple as that?
Yes, actually.
Will.
Right. So there are two ways. One is the improvements in technology. So as we get closer and closer to the idea of a quantum computer, even, that will, of course, speed up computing power, which lessens the actual electrical costs, right? The energy consumption, number one. Number two, the Bitcoin network is on a continuous hunt for cheap renewable energy because it's profitable for them to find the cheapest and renewable sources of energy. That's why you won't find any Bitcoin miners in the Philippines, because electricity here is an arm and a leg and your left testicle.
Okay, next question, and this is one I have not been able to answer yet, or not intelligently as well. So if you give me one, I will coin it as my answer, and you will have nothing to say about it. Okay, crypto is another problem with crypto is it can be used for illegal purposes. Criminals can change money, black money can go by. There's no trace for this. How do we solve that problem? Terrorists can fund each other. Is that a worry?
Right. So that narrative has been around since the start, and actually, it's an old narrative that I figured by now people would have already gotten over that, but obviously not yet, right? So let me just give you this. Did you know that the biggest monetary instrument that criminals use to transact is cash, not cryptocurrency, cash, because cash is untraceable, right? Cryptocurrency, on the other hand, is actually
cash. I can't find it anywhere. Like literally all the time. It's just untraceable.
You're like, what happened, right?
What happened?
Right. So the difference is with cryptocurrency is that it's completely traceable because every transaction is on a blockchain that you cannot change. So if
But
any,
but aren't they encrypted, protected?
yeah, they're
Isn't that
encrypted, but it's so easy. All I have to do is if I get your private keys, I can easily try figure out what you bought, when you bought, all the way from the very first purchase you make or transaction you make. So this whole narrative about cryptocurrency being used for illegal purposes, but it's a small portion right now that's being used for illegal purposes. There's a bigger portion of illegal activities being that's actually using cash rather than crypto.
Okay, that's interesting to know because nobody's in charge of the blockchain, right? Satoshi is we don't even know if he's a real person or a real name, so we don't know. But can, let's say, the authorities, FBI, CIA, NBI here, can they subpoena that information? Like if they suspect you being a terrorist,
Right.
they can say, listen, we need access to your Bitcoin or your crypto wallet and get a court order, and they can get that information.
Well, the information first of all of every transaction is public. It's on a public ledger, meaning anyone can get it. The only thing that they need to get from you is your private keys. And honestly, I think all they have to do is point a gun. They don't need a subpoena for it because it's not with any banks. It's not like a bank that is holding on to your information. You're the only one that holds on to that information, no one else. That's the beauty of cryptocurrency. There is no intermediary. You don't need a bank. No intermediary. It's literally one-to-one. So that's it. Your private keys are yours and you're the only one that has it. And if the government wants to take it from you, they can just probably put you in jail until you give it up, right?
Okay, I'm sold. I'm almost sold. I'm this close. I'm this close to investing again and getting burned. But I'm okay. I'm just teasing. I'm fine with it. I'm just concerned about, or I think not necessarily me, but I want you to give our viewers an explanation on this volatility. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
in your field, this is predicted, right? I mean, you're not.
Yep.
You're obviously calm. Is this something that we have to get used to? Is it going to find its way? Is it going to, because I can get it. I'll finish my train of thought. I can get the crashes and all that if you're doing the trading and you're doing the long-term, short-term. But for it to be a usable currency, which is the goal, I guess, eventually, to use it as a mainstream currency and pay for everyday items, we cannot have that volatility where it just all of a sudden loses 30 or 40% overnight. What can you say about that?
Okay, so to begin with, I don't think Bitcoin, not at this point yet, will be a currency of the world. It's more of a store of value rather than a currency because it's so valuable that you don't want to trade it for anything material. Now, I'll tell you what, like with fiat money, right? Fiat currency, you are willing to trade it because honestly, pesos and dollars don't have much value that you're willing to trade it. But so that's one thing. So it's not a currency per se. It'll become a currency eventually when Bitcoin hits a price and it matures and it stabilizes. That will happen. And that'll happen maybe 2030, maybe about 2030 is when it'll happen. So, okay, so we got rid of that aspect. Now let's talk about the volatility. First of all, it's funny how media sensationalizes the volatility in cryptocurrency. But did you know that a lot of companies on the stock market is just as volatile? I'll give you a good example. Amazon.com. When Amazon launched, they were $1. Within a year, they shoot up to $100. As soon as it shoots up, it drops back down to $2. Can you imagine a 99%, 98% drop? And then it stays at about $2, $4, $5, $6, and then suddenly it goes up to $200. And then it drops to $150. That's pretty volatile. That's about 50 to 100% drop, right? So, and then it keeps doing that. And then it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But if you had held it, today, Amazon is worth $3,200.
And now you see that as a stable 3,200.
It's fairly stable. It's still volatile. I mean, if you look at volatility of about 10%, yeah, sure, it's volatile. Stocks are like that. This is exactly like stocks, if you think about it, in terms of volatility. And this volatility can be tracked. This is going to get really complicated, so I'm not going to get into it right now, but there is a chart that people can look at called, it's Plan B's stock to flow chart. Plan B is a pseudonym, this genius investment banker, who charted the price of Bitcoin from 2009 to 2025. And he predicted the price of Bitcoin all the way to 225. The reason I invested in Bitcoin is because in December 2019, I saw his chart. And at that time, Bitcoin was priced at like $7,000. And then I saw where it was going by December 2020. And I said, by December 2020, according to Plan B's stock to flow chart, there's going to be 20,000. I'm in. I went all in, James. And I just went deep into this world, insanely deep. My insurance broker was like, what are you doing, Chris? You're pulling out all your mutual funds? Yep. Pulled out all my stocks, my mutual funds, everything, my insurance. Canceled my insurance, everything. Put it all in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the cryptos. Yeah, look at her. She's like, yeah.
Wow. X was one of them who got me into it. So she's cheering.
Good.
She was there before I was. So she's cheering and cheering and cheering.
Right.
Okay. So now a lot of people are probably thinking, I can imagine if they're anything like me, they're out there going, all right, okay, I think I'm ready, but now it's going up again. Maybe I should wait for the next crash. Well, how do I start? What do I do?
All right.
You said you paid 7,000, but now it's 42,000. What do you say to them?
My God, I'm telling you right now, James, I hope you bought some more during this dip.
I bought at 39.
Good.
I bought at first at 52 was when I first, my maiden investment, 52. Then it went down and I bought at 44, I think.
Okay, great.
59. So I've kind of spread out. My initial investment was 52, and I think now I'm somewhere around 45 is what I paid for the Bitcoin in my
I love it. And that is a great strategy that I recommend to everyone. With Bitcoin, we've seen the bottom. And honestly, this is a good price. This doesn't get any better than this. I bought at $58,000. I bought a lot at $58,000. I'm still buying. So regardless of the price, I'm buying. So I'm recommending to everyone you buy right now because honestly, Bitcoin is going to be going all the way up. And I'm very bold to predict this. And you can mark my words. Bitcoin is going to get $100,000 by September at the latest.
This September?
Yep, at the latest. 2021, $100,000 per Bitcoin. That will happen. And I think I'm being conservative. I've seen some analysis where they're now saying it's probably going to do about $200,000 to $250,000 by the end of the year. So you better come in now. Right now, this is cheap. So the reason I say it's cheap is because of this. I know where it's going to be in 2025. I know exactly where it's going to be. I have no doubt where it's going to be. I feel like I'm on a freaking time machine where I went back to today and I have a chance to buy this at this price.
Shut up and take my money, God.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money. Where do I sign? Where do I sign?
Yeah. Dude, I'm serious. When I started, so I put a lot of money at the start. As soon as I dug deeper, just in a few months after, I literally threw everything in now. I have no more cash in the bank. I don't believe in the banking system. Huh?
Me too, but I have no cash anywhere. I got none anywhere, Chris. No, but okay. Are you a whale?
No. Whales are like, those guys are massive. They're no way,
what
not
does it
even
take
close.
to be a whale for those who don't know the term?
Okay, I'll give you an example of a whale. Do you remember that Winklevoss twins from Facebook?
Yeah.
Right. So they heard about Bitcoin in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. While they were at the beach, somebody talked to them about it and they said, wow, this looks interesting. And they immediately got it. They bought 1% of all the Bitcoins in circulation at that time. So let's assume there was about 15 million Bitcoins at that time. Okay, they bought 1%, 15, 1.5 million, 150,000 Bitcoins.
At what price?
That's a whale. They bought it at about $6 or $7 probably, or less. Yep. They're billionaires. They're multi-billionaires.
I won't mention names, but ever since I started posting about the memes about the crypto crash, which is funny, right? Because now you know who's invested. When the crash hit, everyone came out, like the kids come out of the room when you unplug Wi-Fi. The same thing. Everyone's like, what? All of a sudden, social media was full of people going, what happened to the crypto? And so people are going, wait, you're investing too? You messaged me because of the same thing.
Yep.
Wasn't in my recent post that you said, I didn't know you invested.
I know.
So one of my friends, he's one of my celebrity friends. So he's really, I can't mention his name, but we were having long chats last night, and he's about $100,000 into it right now.
Yep.
But he showed me his breakdown. He bought at 7,000 as well. So he's more than made, like enough to buy houses or apartments, not one houses.
Yep.
Apartments, and he's now his $100,000 dropped to $60,000. So that's where he is right now. But he's like, hold the line, man. Hold the line.
Yep.
Yes, this is moving up, and so there's a lot of exciting news. I mean, now with the website that you work for, what's with that? I'm on Binance, and I find it as complicated as a woman. No offense to women, but I can't get it. I can't understand it. I really can't, Chris. And I've been married 26 years today, and I still can't. I can't understand it. I find that so confusing.
All right. So OKX is exactly like Binance, where it's an exchange. It's a DeSci. It's an exchange that's an international exchange. The beauty of that is we're not bound by. I don't want to say this publicly. We can't. We're all over the world, basically. So you're safe
from where?
We're the company Binance and OKX. They're both from China. Okay. Actually, the biggest exchanges are from China. So the beauty of OKX is this, and what makes it different from Binance is this: we are able to list coins before Binance does. Good example: there was a meme coin that came out called Shiba Inu. Everyone that I know bought this meme coin. It was at like 10, like 0.000 whatever 10. Let's say 10 cents to make it easy. And then we were buying it at OKX, and I was telling everyone, buy it now. And then Binance launches it, and by the time they launched it, it was already ×3 or ×4.
Yeah.
So we're ahead. In a lot of coins, Polka Starter, there are so many. Many. I'm sorry.
Safe Moon.
Which one? Safe? Oh no. Safe Moon's gonna be. I don't recommend a lot of these. For lack of a better word, I call them shit coins. Or moon coins.
I've heard them. I've heard the term.
Yeah, because you could lose a lot of money in it. I don't recommend you buy a lot. I would say you put in only maybe 1% that you're literally willing to lose. Put your money in Bitcoin, no matter what the price is. It's 40,000. That's cheap. Ethereum is cheap at 2,700. Hey James, I'll tell you a good story. So I've been talking about cryptocurrency to anyone that wants to listen to me for the entire year. There was this girl I was I'm friends with, that I kept talking to her about it almost on a daily basis. And suddenly she goes to me, yeah. So she says to me, she said, Chris, you keep talking about Ethereum. Man, I think I've heard of that. I go, what do you mean? I think I put money in it. I go, what? Go check. So she checks her email, finds the exchange that she was with. She opens it. She lost password, found it, everything. She opened it up. She goes, Chris. I go, what? I go, how much did you buy? She goes, I spent about $1,000. It was her first paycheck. She lives in the States. It was her first paycheck. She was thinking, should I buy an iPhone? Should I buy Ethereum? So her friends were like, let's buy this thing, Ethereum. So she bought it, 2016. All right, $1,000.
Oh my God. Okay.
March last year. So 50,000 pesos. Let's put it in pesos for everyone to understand. So we were chatting, and then I said, do you know how much that 50,000 pesos is? She goes, how much? 2.3 million pesos.
Whoa.
Okay. She totally freaks. She's like, should I sell it? I go, no, do not sell it. She goes, why not? It's going to keep going up. Are you sure? I go, hell yeah, 100%. She didn't sell it, James. All right. Here's the thing. That was last year. Today, the 50,000 pesos that she did not sell at
today
2.2 million.
Just last week before the crash.
Let's say 2 weeks ago before the crash.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, it sounds really nice.
This crash is artificial, yeah.
All right. So the price, you know how much the value of her 50,000 pesos?
Okay, so we're up to 2.2, right? 2.
Right. 2.3, yeah. All right.
2.3 to what?
Right. 30 million pesos.
Come on!
I am not kidding.
Money.
I am so not kidding.
Want a dog?
She does not.
Dog. Okay, come here.
She doesn't want to be named because of the fact that,
I don't blame her.
Yeah. I'm so tempted. I honestly, I want to name her because people don't believe her story. I've seen it with my own eyes. I know her portfolio. She is set for life, dude. Set for life.
And that's when you propose, no?
Yeah. I know. Wow, that much Ethereum. And the thing is, she asked me again, should I sell? I go, no. She goes, why not? I go, that 30 million is going to be worth $60 million minimum.
I can't believe we're over time already, but I'm this is such a fascinating chat, and the only thing that I'm worried about is the raffle. But okay, I gotta ask you just one couple of really fast questions, because that's staggering. I mean, like, I know
Yes.
that's true, Chris, because my two children, all three, but it started with my eldest. He put $300 into SafeMoon, and my youngest at 14 put $50. They didn't tell me, right?
Of
It's
course.
$50 before the crash. I don't know what it is now. It's $50, and we're only talking 2 or 3 weeks, huh?
Right.
3 weeks or so. Went up to $3,000. My kid,
Your son made
Yes.
$3,000?
he's 14 years old. He has more money than I have. I'm not kidding. $3,000.
No freaking way.
And then my eldest put 300. He went over $10,000 in his, and they're not selling either. And that's just
SafeMoon. On SafeMoon.
Yeah. So by that time they told me I didn't buy because it was a bit late. So I know what you're saying is true, but are these not artificially? I mean, like,
Okay.
there's no rhyme and reason to this. I mean,
Right. Okay, James, there's rhyme and reason to this. Actually, there's a very good reason to why the prices are going up. And let's take aside the shit coins, the meme coins, because those don't have any fundamentals, except for a good community around them. Kids that really believe in them, that's strong enough, that can raise the price. But let's talk about the fundamentals of cryptocurrency in general. You've heard of Ethereum. You put money in it. Do you understand Ethereum or not really?
Yes, I do. And it's more than just crypto, right? It's the blockchain really I'm investing in.
Yeah. So Ethereum is the underlying foundation of the Web3, meaning the new internet. All right. I want you to imagine. Now, I want you to imagine Web2, which is Facebook, Google, Amazon. I want you to think about these three. Sorry, these four. And Apple. Let's say Apple. Let's include that. These four are probably worth combined about $6 trillion or 8 trillion. Now, do you think that the internet is worth more than those companies combined?
I think so.
Right. Okay. Ethereum is that foundation of the Web3. Now, all of the new things that are happening, exchanges, like the stock exchange, for example, that's happening right now on decentralized exchanges, meaning it's completely automated. It cannot be corrupted. It cannot be negotiated with, and it runs on its own. Do you know Coinbase?
I do. I've heard of it. I don't use it.
Right. Coinbase is a centralized exchange in the United States. There's a decentralized exchange on Ethereum that has a transaction of about $2 billion a day. That's more than Coinbase, which is run by people.
Wow.
That's how powerful it is. Now, Ethereum right now, as we speak, is only worth about, I think if I remember correctly, maybe somebody can check. I think it's worth about 400, maybe 400 billion. That's it. That's the foundation of the entire Web3. It's only worth 300 billion. Now, what do you think is it going to be worth when everything starts working on top of it? That's going to be worth at least $10 trillion. That's why I know this is going to keep going up, because of that exact reason I told you. So right now we are at the cusp. You didn't get to invest in Amazon, right?
No.
We didn't even know about
I'm super late. This is my first time to invest at all in any Tesla, Amazon, Apple.
Right. So those heydays of the 90s where people were investing and made a killing, this is our chance right now. This is it. This is going to happen once every generation.
You know, Chris, tell me if I'm wrong here, because this is how I read it. And if this is the way I read it and it happens to be true, I think people will understand. Crypto is like what it is to money, what the internet was to information.
Yes. I love the way you put it.
We're talking about a quantum leap forward that your mind can't even wrap around. Because when the internet first came, we
couldn't even understand it, right? Right.
No.
But you're using it.
You're using it, but you're using it maybe at 0.1% of its power, right? You're just downloading porn.
Right.
I'm speaking about a friend. I'm talking about a friend, not me. So you're using it for 1% of its capability. But just like crypto, there were, of course, the gatekeepers,
Right.
telcos, especially. Hey, this is a fad. We don't, because they were threatening their telecommunication business.
Right.
Voice calls were under threat. So many things. So they were downplaying it, but it's inevitable. It's this disruption will happen
Yep.
regardless. So is that a fair comparison? The internet,
Absolutely.
because now the internet is bigger than anyone.
Right.
It's bigger than
So-
anybody, and it's
Right.
not owned by anybody.
Yes. And here's the thing about cryptocurrency. Governments that are going to try to regulate and stop it and not
Yeah.
ride this wave are going to get left behind. Their economies are going to collapse. The United States has to be very careful because the more they try to stop it, and they're not going to stop it. Because if they stop it, the other countries are going to be way ahead in this cryptocurrency wave. And remember, like you said, this is not just about, I think that cryptocurrency is so limiting because it's not just about currency. This is about how we distribute music, how we
Yeah.
distribute art, how we distribute land titles,
Land titles,
how we distribute I'm sorry,
contracts, basic contracts.
contracts, our even medical records. Can you imagine your medical record, James, is on a token that you can access? And let's say you travel anywhere in the world and you suddenly have a condition. You call ER, they show up, you put your thumb on the phone, your medical records come out exactly what they need so they know what to do with you at any part of the world. But you're the only one that controls that information. And that's the beauty of it. It's not with any government. It's not centralized on a server. You hold on to the information. That's the power of cryptocurrency.
It's the power
Voting.
of the blockchain. It's actually
The
more
power of the blockchain.
the
Absolutely.
blockchain. Because crypto is, I see it sitting on top. So blockchain is what's powering this, and crypto is literally the currency on top that's powered by this verification process that they call
Yes.
blockchain. So
Right.
Ethereum, from what my son was explaining to me, and he showed me some videos which really fascinated me. Aside from crypto, like you said, and land titles and all this, one big thing excited me is it could literally power social media. And what I mean by that is we have this problem now with social media and this freedom of speech, right? So they can basically, they're censoring everybody and they can ban you from their website. That's it. If Facebook shadow ban you, you're gone. But with the blockchain, theoretically, I don't know how they'll do it, but theoretically, those followers could belong to you. And you literally just go, okay, well, I've got a million followers. If Facebook banned me, you can move to Twitter. And your followers are actually held in the blockchain, in theory.
Right. Absolutely.
Because it's stored value.
Yes. And even right now, as we speak, I don't know if you know this, Jack Dorsey of Twitter is already creating a blockchain social media that
Yes.
you get to own your tweets or whatever it is that you're going to be posting.
This is
So,
the way of
and-
the future.
Right. And it can't be censored. And there's no one power that can stop it. It is completely decentralized. And this is the future, James. Voting, imagine voting in each country done on the blockchain. It cannot be corrupted. As a matter of fact, that's what I think why it's never going to be adopted in the Philippines for a long time is
Yeah.
because when it's adopted, no more corruption, James. Zero corruption.
Zero corruption, and also, and we really have to end on this note. As much as people are saying, I don't know if you're reading the comments. Please keep going. We need this topic more, so we're gonna have you back for sure, Chris. But
Yeah, let's do it. I love talking about this shit. Oh, sorry, can I swear?
yeah, of course. It's the
Sorry,
internet.
Yeah,
You can
I
swear on the
love
blockchain and
talking.
the internet.
Right. Yeah, I love this shit. Like I can talk about this all day. So, and I love sharing this information because James, like for me, I wish all Filipinos would get into this. I don't force people to do it, but how I wish people got into it sooner. At the same time I did, because I want everyone to experience this kind of financial independence, to be able to have passive income where you don't have to work for money. Money works for you now. And that's something that the banks took away from us. I have to say this. Think about this. James, you have most of your money in the bank, right?
Like I said, I have none, but whatever I have is
Right. Whatever you have, right? Okay. Here's the thing. Who's making money from your money?
They are.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's bullshit. That is bullshit. And they charge us to check our balances?
Yes, they do.
What a bunch of shit, right? Okay, so here's the thing. They're earning hundreds of millions to billions of dollars using our money. What cryptocurrency did is they took away the bank, the middleman. So now everything is peer-to-peer, no more intermediary. And James, the interest rates that you get here, I call it interest rates because that's the easiest way to understand this. But it's actually called yields. The yield I get for my money How much is a good interest rate? What do you think? Give me a good interest rate.
For me, like for my money to earn, like if I
Yeah,
was to
yeah,
put
in a
money
bank. Yeah,
now,
sure.
look, if I could get 5%, I'd be very happy.
Right. Okay. I get about 18% on my US dollar.
I get 5%. I get tax on that, and I get fees on that. So that's
There
not
you
even a
go.
5%.
Yeah, I get 15, 18%. I have investments that give me 200. You won't even believe some of them. I'll just say 200% return. Let's end with 200% returns, James. I will show you how deep this rabbit hole is. And I'm telling you, when you see how deep it is, you're going to do what I did and just go all in. There's no point in keeping your money in pesos and US dollars. You know why? We're in a point of inflation because of the
Yeah.
stimulus packages.
Yeah.
Prices are going up. And do you remember 1997? How much was the peso in 1997?
24, I think.
Thank you. And then in 1 year, it jumps to what? 42.
48. Yeah,
It's
42.
48.
Right? Almost
42,
done.
yeah. So if you're holding on to pesos that time, you just cut your net worth in half without
was
any
here.
fault of your own.
I was a kid, but I was here during 1983 when Ninoy got shot, and it was 7-1.
Do you remember
And
the price?
21. It tripled
Right.
overnight.
Right.
So you, and if you had loans or you had cash, well, your buying
You're
power
dead.
by
Yeah.
So we know, Chris. I think you're preaching to the converted already, as far as at least definitely for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people in it being the future and all that. I think the only hesitance now is when will the powers that be finally yield, because it's money is control, and without if they
Right.
can't have access to that, they can't control, and this is where I don't think anyone wants to give up.
Oh, James, I love the way you bring that up, and because you're right, and money is controlled. That's why
It is.
governments
That's
are
what it
holding on.
is.
That's why they're trying to control money. But the reality is, there was a time in our history where governments did not control money, and the monetary system is separate from the government. And the governments didn't like that because they wanted to have control. And when they control money, they create what? What do they create? They create wars because of money. Now, when you take the monetary system away from them, you take the power away from them and you put the power back in the hands of the people. And that is why cryptocurrency is so important right now. And governments will give in to crypto no matter what. They're going to give in. Which one? I don't care about the
We're already 20 minutes over time, and people are like, wait.
No, because you know what, James? If they put their money now, the money they're gonna make is more than any raffle. I'm telling you right now. You know this.
I know this. Okay, let's be very realistic with everybody. I know you're always realistic, but we focused a lot on the great news. Are there anything pitfalls or things we have to worry about? What would you advise people to be cautious of?
Okay, so there are a lot of scams. I mean, I know a lot of friends that got scammed. You'll get somebody calling you and saying to you, "Hey, I'll put your money in Bitcoin or in crypto. I've got this mining rig I'm doing. Invest in it. You're gonna make 20% a month or a day." Don't believe any of that shit. All right. If anyone tells you that you're gonna make money do not give them your money. That's the biggest scam of all. So that's number one. Number two, when you talk about mining is very difficult in the Philippines and expensive. So if anyone tells you to put your money in mining, don't do it. Just put your money in Bitcoin, Ethereum. Put it there.
What they mean is, when with mining, it's like, okay, that's mine.
Right? Yeah, mining. Yeah, you're right.
Mining over here.
Right. So yeah, that's the only danger I can see with this. And plus, don't let greed get the best of you. And just chill. Yeah, crash course on how to invest in. Simple, just simple. Guys, I wish I could put my referral link because I like to offer my referral link. That's how we do it. So everyone's connected.
Can you text it to me? You text it to me, and then Erica will X will flash.
Oh yeah,
it up.
yeah. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Just send it to me on WhatsApp now, and then X will flash it up as we speak.
There you go. So yeah. So
Wait for it here.
So for I've been doing, honestly, I wanted to tell all of our friends, our group, about crypto before, because I really wanted everyone to experience what I experienced last year. Somebody asked me how my pandemic year was in 2020, and I hate saying this because I'm not saying it to brag, all right? But my God, last year was my best year in my whole life, James. My whole freaking life. Last year, yes, where my 2 businesses closed and I had the best year last year. It's crazy.
For
It's
those who don't know,
absolutely
what were your businesses before?
I had a production company for 14 years. I did very well with that. It was called Ideal Minds. I have boxing gyms, Elorde in Ortigas and in Feliz, and I had a spa. I do life coaching. I do acting. And this last year, when all of that disappeared, was my best year ever. It's mind blowing, James. And when I was talking about this, it was just climbing up. People didn't believe me. And when I told people about it, they'd be like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, I'm really telling you this. I'm not recruiting you. I don't need anything from you. I really am sharing it because I want you to experience what I'm experiencing genuinely.
What would you get out of this? Bitcoin is not, you're not buying into your company. It's like,
it's not exactly. So when I told my friends, the ones that bought, I'm so happy because obviously they are today where they are, and they're like, Chris, I'm so glad I watched that video of yours on YouTube. I didn't even know they watched it. And he goes, when I heard it, I just bought in and I said, I'll leave it. And oh my God, the growth. So happy.
Right. What we're going to do is we're going to leave you with this. If you want to get a hold of Chris, there's this YouTube page. There's also some social media. It'll probably be easier if we give your social media handles, Chris, so that they can get hold of you personally if they want to get involved with this. And then you can give them your referral code or whatever, because I can see a lot of questions, and people are saying it has to be a series, crypto serie.
I'm game for that, James. I'm game for that.
All right. ID or which you use the most? Which is your handle?
So, first I sent you the referral code on WhatsApp already. All right. Okay. So, my handles. All right. So for YouTube, it's youtube.com/Chris Tan is here. And so it's Chris Tan is here. All right. And you can follow me on YouTube. That's where all my videos are. You can get a lot of information, especially on the last one about the crash. I explained it detailed, what this crash means and where we're going. We are at the tip of this. We are on track to $100,000. All right. Mm-hmm. On Facebook, just type Chris Tan or Chris Tan and Bitcoin. I think it'll probably pop out.
Yeah, probably. There's a lot of Chris Tans.
There is. I'm so common, James. It's so hard to give my name. It's like they look for me. Okay, and then the other one is
Why
Instagram.
Why don't you change your name to Crypto Tan?
Crypto Tan. Oh my God, I might do it. A Crypto Tan. There's a ring to that. A Crypto Tan.
So and you're halfway there already with Chris. So
yeah, Crypto Tan. Okay, I might do it. I just might do it.
Crypto Fur. Oh yeah, better.
Crypto Fur. That's too funny, man. Crypto Fur.
Here's the link. Okay, so we'll just continue. Flash that if you want to put that on.
Yeah,
that's how you get the referral code.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. That one's easy. It's letter I, letter M, Chris Tan. That's it. Letter I, letter M, Chris Tan. And feel free to message me, guys. I really help as much as I can. I'll help you guys get set up. And it's really my advocacy is to be able to see a lot of Filipinos get a piece of this pie that we've been denied by Wall Street in the 90s, in the 80s. Yeah. This is a chance for the world. You know how many people, one of the richest Bitcoin billionaires is in India. The one that bought this NFT for $680 million or $67 million.
Yeah. Saw that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. There's a lot of billionaires. So please, get on this train, this rocket. It's going to go to the moon, and it's going to be fast and furious.
Well, you know what, Chris? The proof of this is that when we started talking, it was supposed to be 5 minutes. I think we had 600 something, 680 or something tuned in at the time. We're up to 721. So we didn't. I thought we would be, losing people. We gained some people, but we don't want to abuse that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, but we want you to stick around. Raffle time. Right, this prize. Titoclock.
Titoclock.
All right, so this is the raffle portion. This is Rocket's going to be honors. We're giving away 2 wonderful orders. two things worth $5,600. They're comforters. They're really awesome. Rocket, do the honors. Where is he? Doggy coin.
Dogecoin. Yeah, your dog's so cute, James.
Doggy coin. And Edward can. All right, Rocket. Well, thank you so much for that. This will definitely not be your last. We already have people saying Crypto Fridays, Crypto Seria.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I can see it becoming more and more mainstream. That's why.
Yeah.
Every now and again, if there's something great to come out of this crash, like I said in the intro, is it brought the casuals out. It created interest from basically people who had zero interest before.
Right.
And that's great. That's great for anything, whether it's a sport and now in investment, because financial freedom is really something that we have a long way to go with.
Yep.
And this fundamentally changed that, because you talk about financial freedom, but the system itself, there's nothing free about it, right?
Right.
The previous system, I'm saying.
Right.
So this is true financial freedom eventually, when you can finally have something that's peer-to-peer, it's verifiable, it's incorruptible, and it's definitely the way of the future. But as always, just be, only put what you're willing to park. I don't even say willing to lose. I say willing to park.
Yep.
Park for a few years. And then manage your expectations. Ask yourself if you want to be the tortoise or the hare, what kind of investor you want to be, because both are very different. You don't want to also be glued and wired into your machine, because your moods will be volatile too, right?
Yep.
So invest, just take it easy. And we will have more of these sessions, Chris, so we can educate a few more people. I myself got so much out of it, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, James. And James, can I just hold on?
Sure.
So tomorrow is I don't know if you know this history. I sent this to you already. I don't think you got it yet, so I'm just gonna say it. So May 22, tomorrow, is National Bitcoin Pizza Day.
Bitcoin, yeah. Okay.
Where a guy paid 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 slices of pizza, which is now worth something like 30 billion or something ridiculous like that. So because of that, I actually got you a pizza from Sandy's. All right?
Oh, wait.
Sandy's Pizza.
Yeah. I haven't received it.
It should be downstairs already. So
downstairs now.
yeah, I ate some already. It's a truffle pizza. It's really good shit, man. And honestly, make sure to heat it up. It's truffle. It's so good. Brick oven pizza.
It's my anniversary today, so I'm headed right back for dinner with the wife and kids, and I'll be bringing that.
Awesome. Yeah, she'll love it. Your wife will love it.
Chris Tan.
Thanks so much, James. Let's talk again soon, all right?
Really enjoyed that. That was the longest TITO'CLOCK we've ever had. Yeah, we went an hour and a half there,
On your anniversary.
on my anniversary, pa. You guys got to cover for me, all right? I'm gonna be using you as alibis. So that's basically the end of the show. Tama na. We already went 30 minutes over on my anniversary. Got to fly over and make peace. So till next time, guys. I thought that was a great conversation. I wish we had more time. We'll make him a solo guest, and I really don't want to rush through that anymore, because there was so much I wanted to ask him, so much knowledge that needs to be passed, so many things that need to be decryptified for us so that we understand. So till next week, I'm James, X, Y, Z on the other side. Be kind to one another and always sanitize. Bye for now.
Fancy meeting you in my internet. Couldn't help but notice your smile, while everybody else around us is surfing about. Can we just stop and chat a while? Get away from these gray and boring, lonesome days of our quarantine. Early yet to say what lies ahead It's just the first day of the rest of our lives. Love could be waiting at the end of this quarantine. Let's stop